Okay, so have you ever found yourself scrolling through social media? You're surrounded by hundreds, maybe thousands of connections, but there's still this weird sense of distance.
Hmm. Or, like, think about the last time you had a video call with someone far away.
Yeah, amazing, right? Technologically speaking?
Totally amazing. But did it feel exactly the same? Like, exactly the same as being right there in the room with them?
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
Not that same warmth or, the comfortable silence or just bursting out laughing together over nothing. It's
Yeah.
different.
Right. And that's the paradox we're diving into today.
Exactly. Today, we're doing a deep dive into, well, a really huge question. How has technology truly transformed the way we communicate?
It's this classic double-edged sword, isn't it?
It really is. It gives us this incredible instant global reach, efficiencies we couldn't have dreamed of, honestly.
Hmm.
But at the same time, it kind of puts up this subtle challenge maybe to those really vital face-to-face connections, ones we fundamentally need.
Indeed. And our mission here in this deep dive is to really unpack all that. We're looking at the source material, the advantages, the disadvantages.
Yeah.
We're not just asking what changed, but digging into why it matters. Why it matters to you listening right now, why it matters to society, and what it means for our future connections.
So we'll look at the efficiency games.
Yeah, the big productivity boost,
Yeah.
but also the social costs, the things that maybe slip under the radar sometimes.
And then, importantly, what a balanced path forward could even look like. Can we find one?
That's the goal, finding that balance.
We've got some really insightful material lined up, stuff that charts this massive shift and really hammers home why we need, moderation. Mindfulness, maybe?
Mindfulness is a good word for it. If we want to
Yeah.
keep those meaningful human connections strong.
Okay, let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Right, so let's start with the promise, the big advantages. Because honestly, when you first think about tech and communication, the positives really jump out.
They absolutely do.
And maybe the biggest one, the one that just reshaped everything almost overnight,
Yeah.
is how it smashes geographical barriers.
Hmm.
That fostering of, truly global connectivity.
Oh, it's incredible. Really, think back just a few decades. Distance. It was almost insurmountable for keeping relationships going long term, professionally, personally.
Yeah, moving away often meant those ties just faded,
Cool.
slowly but surely.
Exactly. Now, our sources really paint this picture of technology just shrinking the world. It connects people across oceans, continents, like it's nothing. Makes the world feel so much smaller.
What used to be a deal breaker is now just a factor, maybe. Not even a huge one sometimes.
Right.
I mean, personally, I can't imagine keeping up with my family and friends who live abroad without stuff like WhatsApp or FaceTime. It's just essential now.
Mm-hmm.
Back then, it was, expensive phone calls once in a while?
Yeah.
Letters that took weeks.
And relationships drifted. It was almost inevitable.
Totally. Now, it's instant, often visual. It feels constant, in a good way mostly. You can share some tiny, mundane thing like, look at this weird bird in my garden with someone thousands of miles away.
As if they were right there.
Exactly. And that immediacy, that sharing of small moments, it stops the emotional distance setting in, or slows it way down at least.
And this isn't just personal, right? The same power translates directly into the professional world. Huge economic shifts, operational changes.
Yeah, our sources talk a lot about businesses using tools like Zoom, Teams, Google Meet all the time.
It's standard practice now. And it's not just, oh, it's convenient. It has massive strategic implications.
Right, like think of a big multinational company. Before, getting all the top execs together for a quarterly review.
Nightmare. Flights from everywhere, hotels,
Yeah.
jet lag.
Exactly. Huge travel costs millions, maybe. Plus, all that time wasted in transit, the carbon footprint. Today, those same critical meetings happen online, real time, often more frequently even, and you can include more people from different time zones.
Which means faster decisions, often more inclusive input too. It's not just the top brass who flew in.
It is genuinely transformative. Companies slash travel budgets, put that money into R&D or, hiring good people.
And it allows for international teams to form so much more easily. You can pull in an expert from Berlin, someone from Bangalore, someone from Boston. Location doesn't matter as much.
That's huge.
Yeah.
It democratizes access to talent, speeds up projects, and fosters this cross-cultural collaboration that was just way harder before.
The impact on the bottom line, sure, but also on just solving global problems, it's immense.
And it's not just the big corporations either, right?
Not at all. Everyday communication, email, instant messaging, quick video calls, it all makes distance pretty much irrelevant for getting stuff done.
Like a small startup, maybe in a, I don't know, a small town somewhere.
Yeah, suddenly they can work seamlessly with a designer in Reykjavik or a coder in Silicon Valley.
The barriers to entering global markets are just lower. The pool of potential collaborators or clients is massive now.
And the speed of innovation just accelerates because of it. The world's really opened up.
It makes you stop and think, though. What would global collaboration look like without these tools? Or even just keeping family ties strong?
The limitations would be staggering. The costs financial, yes, but also human costs. Lost connections, missed opportunities.
It'd be huge. We'd be much more isolated living in our little pockets instead of this interconnected web we have now.
This feeling of a shared global experience, even with all its complexities, is really enabled by this tech.
Okay, so tech connects us across oceans.
Mm-hmm.
But it also fundamentally changes how we get things done day to day. It makes things super efficient.
That's the other huge piece. Beyond just connection, it's about enhancing efficiency, productivity, and this is really key, democratizing access.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Streamlining processes, amplifying voices.
Giving access to opportunities that were just out of reach for so many people before.
Like customer service chatbots. We all have feelings about those.
Oh, yeah. The endless loop sometimes.
Huh? Yeah, trying to type human frantically. But, okay, honestly, for simple stuff, they do streamline things.
They do. Our sources point out these AI systems handle FAQs, basic requests, guide people to info. It saves time for the business and for the customer often.
And it frees up the actual human agents for the tricky stuff, the complex problems, the emotional situations.
Which, in theory, means better service overall, more efficiency, quicker resolutions for the simple things.
And this idea of democratizing access, that goes way beyond chatbots, right?
Oh, massively. Think about education. Online platforms have just blown the doors open.
Right. Courses, training, certifications.
Especially for people in remote areas or facing other barriers. Someone in a rural village can now access university-level materials, specialized training, things that would needed them to move, spend a fortune.
That's a huge shift in opportunity. Kind of levels the playing field a bit, intellectually speaking.
It really does, and it's even more dramatic in, say, developing nations.
Our sources mention mobile tech there specifically.
Yeah, mobile tech bridging huge infrastructure gaps, not just for chatting, but for real economic empowerment.
Like mobile banking.
Exactly. Small farmers accessing microloans, checking market prices, selling produce directly, bypassing old systems.
Wow. Connecting to services, markets, stuff that was totally out of reach before.
It's a genuine leap forward for economic inclusion for many communities.
And then there's the amplification of voices. Social media gets a lot of flack, much of it deserved.
Definitely a double-edged sword there, too.
But it does empower individuals and grassroots groups, right, to share ideas, advocate for causes globally, incredibly fast.
Undeniably. Think about climate activism or human rights campaigns.
They gain momentum using hashtags, viral content, online organizing.
Turning concerns into these powerful global movements. It shows how tech can unite people for collective action, bypassing traditional gatekeepers like old media.
It's like that global village idea, but like supercharged and interactive.
Yeah, we're not just passively receiving info. We can actively engage, mobilize.
The time saving from automation, freeing up people for creative work, that's big.
And the social impact of collective action, shaping policy, driving cultural shifts.
Right.
It's happening in real time because of this connectivity.
So looking ahead, what if access to knowledge became truly universal, like totally equitable?
Imagine that, the societal impact. It could be revolutionary. Talent, brilliant ideas emerging from literally anywhere.
No longer just confined to the usual centers of power or wealth.
It could fundamentally reshape global dynamics, innovation, everything.
Okay, these are massive advantages, incredible reach, amazing efficiency.
But
And it's a big but.
here comes the other edge of the sword.
Exactly. What happens when all this digital convenience, this constant stream of connection, starts to overshadow something more fundamental?
Something deeper.
Yeah, the richness of our actual in-person connections. Because that, as our sources definitely warn, is the flip side, the potential cost.
Right. Let's pivot to that cost, the cost of convenience, you might call it.
Yeah, this erosion of face-to-face interaction. It's subtle sometimes, but pervasive.
And the core idea here, coming straight from the sources, is that digital platforms, for all their practicality, they really struggle to replicate the depth, the nuance, the spontaneity of talking to someone in person.
They really do.
So much of that relies on nonverbal cues, right? And that's where digital often falls short.
It's that feeling,
Yeah.
like something's missing. You
Yeah.
know? We've all had those video calls. You see the person, but
It's just not the same vibe, the shared air, the
Yeah.
easy flow. It's harder to really connect emotionally sometimes, even if you get the information across fine.
and those nonverbal cues, they're not trivial, are they?
Not at all. We're talking subtle shifts in body language, tiny facial expressions, the sparkle in someone's eye, the exact tone of voice.
Stuff you barely notice consciously, maybe?
Exactly. But it's critical for emotional depth, for real understanding. Some studies say, up to 70% of communication is nonverbal?
Wow, that much.
Yeah. And online, especially text or even laggy video, those cues get lost or misinterpreted. Flat.
Like a text message. You could read it in 10 different ways depending on your mood.
Totally. And a quick glance or laugh in person would clear it right up. But online, misunderstandings happen so easily.
So much nuance just gets stripped away. It's not just what you say, but how you say it, when you say it, the whole context.
The shared look across a room, the nod, the way someone leans in, all those tiny signals.
Digital struggles with that, which makes building real trust, real empathy, harder, less fulfilling.
Often, yes, because truly understanding someone's perspective relies on picking up on all those layers, not just the words.
Which leads to that kind of speculative question. Could AI or super advanced VR ever really replicate that? Genuine human presence.
It's a fascinating thought experiment. Technologically, maybe we get closer to simulating it. But ethically, what does that mean?
If a simulation felt real, what does that do to our idea of authenticity, of real connection?
Does it devalue the real thing or enhance it? Big questions as the tech evolves.
And this loss of depth, it's not just theoretical. It hits our relationships hard.
Which brings us right to the next point. The weakening of social bonds and maybe even a decline in interpersonal skills.
This is a big worry, isn't it? Especially for younger people.
It is. The sources really focus on this. The idea that relying too heavily on digital communication can thin out our social ties.
Make them more superficial, maybe?
Potentially, and it could lead to a decline in those crucial face-to-face skills, particularly for younger generations who've grown up totally immersed in digital from day one.
You see it right. Younger folks often preferring texting or DMs over calls, let alone meeting up.
And the concern is that even video calls, while better than text, might still weaken bonds compared to being physically present, because you're missing all that subtle nonverbal stuff we just talked about.
It's like learning a language only from a textbook, maybe. You know the grammar, but can you actually speak it fluently, naturally?
That's a good analogy. It speaks to that use it or lose it idea for social skills.
Right.
If you don't practice navigating real-time, face-to-face interactions regularly, especially during formative years,
You might get awkward, anxious in social situations.
or just lack that finesse. Reading a room, holding eye contact comfortably, responding spontaneously, the timing of humor or comfort. These are skills honed through practice, real-world practice.
And this isn't just about personal life, is it? It hits the workplace, too.
Absolutely. Our sources mention the erosion of workplace relationships. Think about those casual chats.
By the water cooler, yeah. Or impromptu brainstorming in the hallway, team lunches.
Those informal moments are so important for building trust, sparking ideas, creating team spirit, morale.
Remote work is flexible, sure, but it can strip away those organic interactions.
Making work feel more transactional, maybe less cohesive, less like a team sometimes.
So what does this mean long-term? For future leaders, communicators?
That's the big question. If a generation is primarily used to mediated communication, how will they handle, say, complex negotiations, empathetic leadership, persuasive public speaking?
Things that rely heavily on reading the room, connecting non-verbally.
Exactly. What are the societal costs if those skills diminish across the board? How do we solve problems together? How does democracy function if nuanced, in-person debate becomes harder?
It's a concerning thought. And these weakened bonds, these potentially diminished skills, they hit us personally too, right? Affecting our well-being.
Directly, which leads straight into the link between all this digital engagement and issues like loneliness, anxiety, mental health.
Yeah, this is where it gets really serious.
It is, and our sources are pretty explicit here. Study after study is showing a correlation.
Between what? Excessive screen time?
Yeah, especially heavy social media use and higher rates of reported loneliness and anxiety.
Why? Because the virtual interactions feel superficial.
That seems to be a key factor. They lack the depth, the emotional resonance of meaningful face-to-face exchanges. They don't quite nourish us in the same way.
It's that paradox again, isn't it? We're hyper-connected online.
Hundreds, thousands of friends or followers.
Yet people, especially younger people, report feeling more lonely, more isolated than ever.
It really speaks to quality over quantity. Having tons of digital contacts doesn't automatically equal feeling truly connected or understood.
If those connections lack depth, empathy, shared vulnerability, shared experiences in the real world.
It can actually make you feel more isolated, surrounded by digital noise but feeling unseen. Plus the comparison trap on social media.
Oh yeah, the curated perfection everywhere.
It feels inadequacy, anxiety, it's tough.
So what makes an interaction meaningful? What's the magic of in-person?
Well, the research suggests it's multisensory, the shared space, eye contact, body language, immediate feedback, that feeling of presence.
Yeah, presence. That's a good word.
It creates validation, understanding, belonging in a way that's just really hard to replicate through a screen, no matter how good the tech gets.
And the mental health links are solid now, not just anecdotes.
Increasingly well documented. Links between heavy screen time, social media, and rises in anxiety, depression, body image issues, loneliness. It's a real public health concern.
The constant curated realities, the pressure to perform online, FOMO.
It's psychologically draining for many people, can lead to this background hum of dissatisfaction.
So, okay, on an individual level, what can you do? How do you make digital interactions enriching, not draining?
It comes down to intentionality again, doesn't it? Setting boundaries.
Like limits on screen time, being conscious of it.
Yeah, and maybe choosing the right medium. Knowing when a text is fine, but when a call, or better yet, a face-to-face chat is really needed for the relationship.
Putting the phone down sometimes.
Yeah.
Actively seeking out real-world stuff.
Basically making the text serve your well-being and connections, not the other way around.
Okay, so personal connections suffer, mental health is impacted, but the reach of tech also creates bigger systemic risks, right, affecting everyone.
Exactly. Beyond the direct personal impact, there are broader societal challenges we absolutely need to address.
All right, let's widen the lens again. Systemic risks. First up, privacy breaches and the spread of misinformation. Huge topics.
Huge and deeply intertwined with digital communication. The very platforms connecting us also expose us.
To data exploitation, cyber threats. It feels constant.
It practically is. Our sources emphasize this isn't theoretical. Personal data browsing habits, location, political views, you name it, is constantly collected, analyzed, monetized.
Or worse, stolen.
Right, leading to targeted manipulation, identity theft, fraud. The scale and speed make it incredibly hard for individuals to control their own information.
And it's not just our data security, it's the information itself. Misinformation.
Yeah.
It feels like a plague sometimes.
It's a massive global challenge, false information spreading like wildfire online, undermining trust in everything.
Making it so hard to know what's real, who to believe.
In this flood of content, often designed to provoke emotion, distinguishing credible sources from deliberate lies or spin. It's exhausting. Creates uncertainty, cynicism.
And what does that do to society? That erosion of trust.
It's corrosive. Not just trust in media or platforms, but in institutions, science, even in a shared reality.
If we can't agree on basic facts,
how do we have constructive dialogue? How do we tackle big problems like climate change or pandemics together? It fuels polarization, makes collective action incredibly difficult.
and algorithms play a role here too, right? The filter bubble thing.
Definitely. While maybe not named explicitly in every source, the effect is clear. Algorithms aiming to keep you engaged often show you more of what you already like or believe.
Creating echo chambers.
Exactly. You encounter fewer diverse viewpoints, fewer challenges to your own assumptions, which makes it harder to spot misinformation or think critically. It reinforces biases.
Which leads to more tribalism online, maybe.
It certainly contributes, so the challenge moving forward is immense. How do societies fight sophisticated misinformation? Especially with AI generating deepfakes, narratives.
This stuff looks totally real.
It's going to require critical thinking skills, media literacy education, a constant effort to seek out diverse sources.
Yep.
Vigilance.
Okay, so information integrity, data security, huge issues. But there's another big systemic problem. Who even gets to be part of this connected world?
Ah, the digital divide. Yes.
Technology connects, but it can also exclude.
Precisely. Our sources really hammer this home. Relying so heavily on tech creates this divide. Those without access to the tools, the skills, they get left behind.
And this widens existing inequalities, right? Social, economic.
Absolutely. It's not just about owning a phone. It's reliable, fast internet. It's devices that can run current apps. It's the digital literacy to use it all safely and effectively.
Without all that, the connected world is a members-only club, almost.
It really makes you think about internet access, digital literacy. Should they be seen as fundamental rights now?
Like electricity or clean water?
In our modern world, arguably yes. Without them, you're increasingly cut off from essential services, education, jobs.
Trying to apply for a job online without good internet? Forget it. Accessing health info, online learning, school assignments.
It's becoming a basic necessity for participation, a huge barrier if you lack it.
And the impact on education, economic opportunity, it's stark.
Creates a knowledge gap that just keeps growing. Fewer job prospects, limited mobility for individuals and whole communities.
We talked about mobile tech helping in some places.
Yes, but the flip side is crucial for those still left behind, the digitally disenfranchised. The gap is becoming a chasm. They're cut off from the progress defining our era.
So if these trends continue, what does that look like? A two-tiered society.
It's a real risk, a digitally empowered elite thriving with access to everything.
And another segment falling further and further behind, marginalized.
It raises massive ethical questions for tech companies, governments, all of us. How do we ensure tech is an equalizer, not just another tool for division?
A force for everyone, not just the privileged few.
It challenges our collective responsibility. Okay, so we've looked at the highs, the lows, the personal, the systemic.
The question now is, what do we do? How do we navigate this? Find that balance.
What's the path forward? That's the crucial next step.
Yeah, how do we forge that path? Find a more balanced future? The sources suggest a big part of it is embracing hybrid models.
Exactly. It's about being intentional, not rejecting tech, not going back in time.
But smartly integrating it, combining digital tools with real physical interaction in education, work, life.
Seeking the best of both worlds, basically. Consciously designing for it.
So like in schools, you use online platforms for resources, maybe personalized learning.
Flexibility, access, all the good stuff.
But you also deliberately build in time for in-person group work, discussions, hands-on stuff.
Because that's where you build social skills, collaboration, critical thinking through debate, that sense of community. Stuff digital alone can't fully deliver.
Efficiency plus connection.
Right. And same logic for work. Not 100% remote or 100% office necessarily.
But a strategic mix.
Yeah.
Remote work for flexibility, focus.
Combined with regular, intentional in-person time, team days for collaboration, offsites for strategy and bonding, even just encouraging informal meetups.
To deliberately build that cohesion, trust, rapport, spark those random creative ideas that happen when people are physically together.
Creating moments for that shared presence intentionally.
And this isn't just for big organizations, it's for individuals too, right? Like us.
Definitely. The sources talk about public awareness, educating people on managing screen time, recognizing digital burnout.
And consciously prioritizing high-quality interactions. Knowing when a text is fine, but when you really need that coffee chat, that call, that visit.
Giving you the tools to make informed choices, to become the architect of your own digital well-being, like you said earlier.
It really comes back to that word, intentionality. Balance doesn't just happen.
You have to design for it, plan for it, at every level, individual, organizational, governmental.
Using tech's power, but carefully preserving, maybe even enhancing that vital human element. Being proactive, not just reactive.
Shaping our tech future, not just being swept along by it.
Makes you wonder what new hybrid models might pop up. Could cities be designed differently?
To encourage more in-person interaction. Redesign parks, community hubs, neighborhoods built for casual encounters.
Smart cities that nudge us towards real connection, maybe.
Yeah.
Tech that facilitates face-to-face doesn't just replace it.
It's an exciting thought, how our environments could reflect this balanced approach.
Okay, so individual choices, organizational strategies, that's huge. But some problems need bigger solutions, right?
Absolutely. Things like the digital divide, user privacy, they require a systemic response.
Yeah. You can't just personally choose your way out of the digital divide if you don't have access.
Precisely. So this is where we need collective societal responsibility.
Governments, nonprofits, educational bodies, tech companies themselves.
A coordinated effort. Because technology's impact is shared, the responsibility has to be shared too.
So for the digital divide, what does that mean? Infrastructure investment.
That's key, according to the sources. Governments, organizations investing in affordable, high-speed internet devices, especially in underserved areas.
It's not charity, it's investment. Ensuring everyone can participate. Access info, education, the economy.
Empowering opportunity for all. And beyond infrastructure, it's policy.
Regulations.
Robust, adaptable regulations to protect user privacy, to fight misinformation effectively.
Data governance, content moderation, algorithmic transparency, complex stuff.
Really complex, ongoing debates, but crucial for maintaining trust in digital communication. Trust is so fragile.
Needs clear rules, enforcement, commitment to users over just profit.
Which underlines the need for collective action. Some problems are just too big, too global, too fast-moving for individuals alone.
Misinformation, equitable access. Needs everyone pulling together.
Legislation, investment, education, international cooperation, a multi-pronged approach.
Of course, implementing that is hard, right? Political will, funding, global coordination.
Massive challenges, but necessary challenges if we want a healthy digital future. These are investments in a more equitable, trustworthy communication ecosystem.
Ensuring tech serves humanity, not the other way around. Okay, so individual choices, mindful habits, plus collective systemic action. That feels like the path.
Combining both seems essential to harness the potential and mitigate the risks.
So after all this, this whole deep dive, what's the takeaway for you listening? How should you think about your own connections now?
Well, we've seen technology is revolutionary, powerful, changed everything about how we connect, learn, share. Incredible efficiency, global reach, undeniable positives.
Yeah.
But also significant trade-offs. Weakening emotional depth, maybe hurting interpersonal skills, posing risks like privacy breaches, misinformation, the digital divide.
The crucial takeaway, it seems, is that the benefits are huge, but they must be balanced intentionally.
It's not about being anti-tech or blindly pro-tech.
It's about thoughtful integration. Designing our lives, our societies, to blend digital convenience with the irreplaceable value of real human connection.
That warmth, spontaneity, nonverbal understanding, that feeling of shared presence.
Stuff only face-to-face really delivers fully.
So, as you go about your day, shifting between screens and real life, connecting in all these different ways, maybe just pause and consider this.
What's one small intentional choice you could make today? Just one thing. To foster a deeper, more meaningful connection.
Something that genuinely nourishes your social well-being.
Could it be choosing that coffee chat over just firing off another text, making sure your online stuff actually deepens relationships, not just makes your network wider but shallower?
Yeah, maybe next time you reach for your phone to send a text, just ask, does this moment, this relationship, deserve more? Does it deserve the richness of hearing their voice?
Or even better, seeing them in person.
Because ultimately, that power to balance this double-edged sword, it really lies with us in the choices we make every day.
How we connect, when we connect, and with whom we choose to truly connect.